Throughout DC Comics history, Batman and Superman have gone toe-to-toe many times. Whatever their reasons, the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel haven't always been on the best of terms. On the surface, a godlike superhuman with the Man of Steel's powers would make quick work of a billionaire in a cape and cowl. But Bruce Wayne is more than your usual costumed vigilante, with more than a few tricks up his sleeve. Here are 5 ways Batman can beat the Man of Steel. Weaken Superman with Kryptonite. Superman is virtually impervious to human weapons, but he does have an Achilles heel. Kryptonite. Obviously, an invincible Superman wouldn't be much fun in a fistfight, so Kryptonite is always the most likely way to even the odds. But viewers have seen Superman weakened by Kryptonite again and again.
That's Kryptonite!
Yes, this time we got it right!
Meaning Zack Snyder will need to find a new and memorable way for Batman to use the alien substance to his advantage. Fortunately, Batman's cunning has led to several delivery methods in the comics. He's used kryptonite gas, a kryptonite ring, and even outright kryptonite impalement, not to mention a kryptonite-infused arrow courtesy of Green Arrow. Control Superman with threats against others. Superman's vulnerability to kryptonite is well known, but it's not his only weakness. Throughout comic history, Lex Luthor, Batman, and others have controlled the Man of Steel with the threat of violence against innocent lives, especially those closest to Clark Kent.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you?
In John Byrne's Man of Steel origin story, Batman exploits the Kryptonian's bleeding heart by promising that a bomb hidden somewhere in Gotham will detonate should Superman breach an invisible field around the Batsuit. He was bluffing, but Superman couldn't take the chance. That might sound far-fetched for some versions of the superhero. Adam West's Batman would never think of sacrificing innocents to hunt a villain or keep Superman at bay, but other versions have been less virtuous. A crueler Batman might not think twice about using Clark Kent's love for Lois Lane or the people of Metropolis against him. Most versions of Batman have been willing to do what their fellow heroes aren't. Using collateral damage could work here just as it did against Darkseid himself, along with his entire planet, in the Supergirl from Krypton storyline. Fight Superman with technology and gadgets. Brawn doesn't always beat brains.
Mind over muscle?
And in Batman lore, brains come in 2 varieties, strategy and technology. Movie fans know most of Batman's signature toys, batarangs, bat vehicles, and bat grapple guns. But over several decades, Bruce Wayne has gone from a well-trained vigilante to a full-on tech genius.
Hardened Kevlar plates over titanium-dipped tri-weave fibers for flexibility. It'll be lighter, faster, more agile.
He's a man who outmaneuvers opponents in and out of his Batsuit, and he's designed some of the most effective crime-fighting weapons and vehicles in the entire DC universe. Batman employs brains and brawn to take on Superman in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, using a mechanized Batsuit to take on the Man of Steel. Since its introduction, the utility belt has housed laser cutters, smoke pellets, remote detonators, and even a collapsible sword. Batman's cowl features night vision, sonar detection, and an instant environmental analysis via Bat-computer uplink. No single gadget could defeat Superman, but using multiple resources in the same fight, Batman could easily stay one step ahead of the Man of Steel, until Kal-El is either worn down physically or mentally. An ideological, not physical victory. Achieving victory isn't always the same as winning, and depending on the conflict, Bruce Wayne can still beat Kal-El, even if Batman loses the physical fight. In several Superman storylines, the Kryptonian refuses to be held accountable to anyone, helping or harming world governments as he sees fit. In those stories, Batman doesn't need to crush Superman to beat him, only show the world that even a god can bleed. Comic fans saw a similar idea at play in Zack Snyder's 300, where a group of Spartans gave their lives to simply prove a god king was a mortal man. In The Dark Knight Returns, Batman simply opposes a government that wields Superman like a superweapon. The Dark Knight still wins if he shows the people of Metropolis and Gotham that together they are not powerless against Superman, and that the Man of Steel doesn't get to decide what's right or wrong. If a single man can stand against a god, Kryptonite suit or not, it would make both Superman and humanity think twice. Three's a crowd. The final possibility is that Batman wouldn't have to face Superman alone. Depending on which DC heroes and villains are around, Wonder Woman, The Flash, or even Lex Luthor could offer their help to take down the Man of Steel. Just as Frank Miller's Dark Knight counted on Green Arrow to weaken Superman, Batman could take a beating from the Man of Steel, simply distracting the Kryptonian while the other heroes take positions. It takes sharp storytelling to introduce other players without undermining the main event, but a third party, be it a hero or a villain, could be all that's needed to give Batman the upper hand. These are just a few ways Batman could beat Superman. What's your theory about how the Dark Knight can beat the Man of Steel? Tell us yours in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.